Room 442 is brought to you by North Star Bets. That's a win.
Hello and welcome into Room 442. I'm Sarah Pararia, joined with James Sharman. There's a lot to get into midweek here. And of course, we'll have to start in Spain. Where else? You have a headline here, James. Vinicius Jr. racist abuse. Valencia to appeal against 5-game stand closure as Real Madrid player has red car overturned, from Sky News here. So yeah, Valencia are facing a €45,000 fine, along with their Kepa stand being closed for the next 5 games, but they have 10 days to overturn that. Meanwhile, Real Madrid play later on today, actually, and Vinicius Jr. will be available in the squad.
But injured, apparently, as well. So whether he's actually injured or wants to give the guy a few days,
maybe,
don't you think, with what he's been through? Listen, Valencia have come out, and it's unprecedented. The reversal of the red card, and of course the 5-match stadium stand ban, right? So it's just that one stand where the issues happened. Now they could have just said, okay, and take this. I think optically that's what you should do in this situation. But you know, their statement's pretty strong, right? They're calling it unprecedented. They're saying it's unfair and disproportionate. Valencia will appeal to the last instance the closure of the stand, a sanction that it considers totally unfair, and one more offence in the latest disciplinary decisions that have been taken against the club. So they're making it all about them and how poorly they've been treated by La Liga in recent times. Forget the fact that their fans were the ones abusing Vinicius Jr. in this case. I think it's sickening. You got to stand up and take this on the chin and make statements about how you're going to deal with your fans and educate your fans and be a better place to watch football. So not to do that, I think, is just it's pretty brutal, actually. Now, listen, they cite the referee's handling of the situation, which wasn't great either. And from La Liga's standpoint, to me, it looks like they kind of rushed into this a little bit, the punishment, just to kind of make some noise and hope it goes away without actually going through the protocols in place. Can they actually, make these harsh sanctions against a club, because it hasn't happened before in Spain. So yeah, it's pretty murky right now, and this thing has not gone away, which is what I think the parties hoped it would do. Yeah,
I think, okay, we'll get into Vinicius shortly, but with Valencia, the reason why they're going to go after this is because they could still be demoted into the second division here. Right now, Valencia are with 40 points, and 18th place Getafe has 35 points. There's 3 games left in the season. So, I mean, removing that section of the fans could actually be detrimental to them, but by all means, like, this is what you deserve. This is how it should be. I completely agree, but I am putting my money on the fact that they're going to try and appeal this because they know that there's a lot at stake for them.
Massive,
here.
Right? Yeah. Hundreds of millions of euros. Yeah. And the Mestalla, as you know, is one of the great stadiums in world football, the great atmosphere. It really is that 12th man, but sorry, your 12th man let yourself down in this case. So listen, we'll see what happens. It'll end up in courts, as it always does in these things, unfortunately. But in the end, the main topic here, the main issue about the racism is almost brushed under the carpet because the politics takes over.
But is there a bit of light at the end of this tunnel in that this has never happened in Spain before? We were talking about a 22-year-old who is making noise across the league, across the federation, and there has been a ban for not only the fans that were involved, and there have been several arrests as well, but now you're banning an entire section from what happened. This isn't normal in Spain. This has never happened, but it's amazing that this has all come, I honestly think, from Vinny Jr. and just from him standing up for himself.
Saying enough's enough, right?
Yeah.
You give him a lot of credit for it, absolutely.
It's amazing.
And so it is a big moment, and is it going to be transitional? We're going to find out about that. Sadly, though, also this Wednesday across numerous Spanish publications, they're taking aim at Vinny, and they're saying that he was inciting the crowd, and that's what he does. I mean, one publication actually was out there saying, well, listen, this is what he does, we know that, and abusing and offending players is part of the game. He should not be inciting the fans. They actually wrote this in black and white.
Well, Marca as well, the biggest newspaper in Spain, a very Madrid-based newspaper, Monday morning had the Real Madrid basketball team on the front page because they had won the tournament. And you had to really dig through to find anything on Vinicius Jr. and the racism that is occurring in Spain. So this is, I think, another social issue that is just going on in Spain. This isn't really football related anymore. You know, this is the press not even acknowledging. But that's why I think it's so important for even just you and me to have this conversation. Because
keep it out there, right?
Exactly. Like, keep it going and really emphasize how serious of an issue this is, and hope that change is on its way.
You hope so, because I mean the government there right now is quite left wing, but the media is still very right wing, as we're seeing this week. So you know, Vinny's standing up. Hopefully he doesn't stay quiet. And right now the football world seem to be backing him. His country, with their own issues in fairness, but his country is backing him as well. So we'll see what happens and see if this is appealed and what happens, because you know, even so, 5 games and 45,000 euros, that's still not enough to really affect change. Do you think the fans who have been arrested now and banned are going to think, oh yeah, you know, I was wrong? They don't care.
Yeah, they're probably
fuming, it's innate, this ideology, right?
Yeah, well, we'll keep eyes on that. I'm wondering if the ban will also transfer into next season as well. Maybe they'll fight for that, but lots going on in La Liga. Heading over to Barcelona, where Jordi Alba is set to leave Barcelona after 11 years at the end of the season. Now, we've heard rumors about this over the last couple months. Him and Busquets, obviously. Busquets only a few weeks ago came out and made that announcement, and now Jordi Alba is leaving as well. And I was
sad, aren't you?
I was actually very upset this morning. I think just because there's only one game left at the Camp Nou this season, it's kind of all being very rushed. And Jordi Alba and Busi were, you know, 2 of the main guys of that massive squad for Barcelona. So I feel like it's a bit rushed. Not to mention that Barcelona have Alejandro Valde playing on the left wing, who has been fantastic. But if you lose Alba, we're going to need a sub for that position too. So I'm also just thinking...
But he's 34, right, Sarah? It's time to move on. He'll go where the money is. Saudi Arabia is being mentioned there. But I remember when he first moved there from Valencia, this young kid who just dominated that position for a number of years. He was the best left back in world football, in my opinion, for a long time.
Yeah,
he was absolutely brilliant, right?
That connection with Messi was something
it's ridiculous. six La Ligas he won, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, again, it's like we discussed last week with Busquets. It's just kind of a throwback to those great Barcelona teams and just how good he was. So yeah, listen, it's sad, but listen, no one can escape age, unfortunately, and everyone has to at some point say enough's enough. And this is a time now to cash in one final time for a bit of money. But is La Liga worse off without Jordi Alba? Yeah, of course they are.
I think so. It's Marc-Andre ter Stegen who is now the only player left from that. Is that Champions League squad. Wow. And there's just a photo going around social media where all the players are like marked in black and white except for him, just kind of showing the fade away.
They're not dead.
They're not.
That's what you do for like years after a team when they're all dying off.
Yeah, you know how football fans are. We're all very emotional.
It's basically he's dying, right, to a lot of Barca fans. Yeah, if you're not there, you're dead.
It's really sad, but I think there will be a big showing this weekend for him. I think they play Malaga, and that will be his final game. Everyone's supposed to be coming. Wear your Blaugrana. And
who gets the biggest applause? Is it him or Busquets?
Busi, I'd say, was probably a bit more because he was a first captain, but Jordi Alba was still a captain as well. But they're just such different players. Like,
more vocal Busquets too.
Yeah,
bigger personality. So. It seemed.
But I think Jordi Alba did a lot more on the pitch as well too. So I mean, they're both. It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be sad. But yeah, Jordi Alba, fantastic career at Barcelona. We'll see where he goes. I'm very actually curious as well. Saudi Arabia. Oof. All right. Tottenham weighing up approach for Feyenoord manager Arne Slot.
Yeah.
Albert's not too happy about this one.
I don't know why. Why is he? I mean, listen, Slot's done a great job at Feyenoord this year. They're going to finish, right up there, winning a championship with what, 2 weeks to spare. They made the Conference League final last year in just his first year in charge. He's not a well-known guy, but he plays progressive attacking football with a high press, much like Pochettino, Albert, who you absolutely love. Is one of those names who think Spurs are running out of names, right? Yeah. Nagelsmann pulled himself out, and now he's back in the mix there as well. I think Spurs is one of the teams to watch this summer, right? And certainly they've got to find the right man for the job, and maybe it's going to be a younger manager like Slot, who Leeds went after hard, by the way, when they fired Jesse Marsh, and he said, no, I'll wait. So listen, people will dismiss him because he's not a huge name, but he's one of those young guys. Like Ten Hag is kind of similar, right?
Yeah,
in that kind of a young manager with potential, much respect around the world, plays in a progressive style of football. Check all those boxes.
Yeah, they're first in the Eredivisie right now. They made it to the quarterfinals of the Europa League.
Yep,
I guess
lost to the
Roma, who are in the finals. Jose Mourinho knows how to obviously get to a final here. I completely agree. And actually yesterday, Albert and I were talking about the fact that Spurs don't do well with big name coaches anyway. So yeah, maybe this is who you need. You don't want the drama, especially after this year and Jose Mourinho not too long ago. Maybe this is what's best. You need somebody to come in to get your ducks in a row, but kind of do it under the radar, not going to get involved with the media, and just
expectations low.
Yeah, expectations low, and just get to some total football, the Dutch way.
Although, I mean, listen, they need a sporting director as well, right? And they did approach reportedly Dennis de Kloese, who's Feyenoord's sporting director, and he's not. I'm not leaving. No way am I leaving. So I'm not sure what influence he has on Slot, but Spurs obviously looking that direction for assistance here. I think a lot comes down to the Harry Kane situation.
Yeah.
Whoever comes in, will he have Harry Kane?
Yeah.
And if not, how much money will he have to spend with the Harry Kane money? And what can he do? So, a big few months for Daniel Levy, who's got to win back the fans somehow as well, right? Which I don't think is possible at this point.
I mean, if Harry Kane stays, it could be, because I feel like only a few months ago we were hearing rumors of Harry Kane to Manchester United were heavily linked. He was unhappy, but as of late, it almost seems like the rumors kind of ceased. He had that interview where he was really talking up Spurs and the fans, and I'm kind of curious now. I'm thinking, is he gonna stay?
But don't you find that silence deafening? Almost, it's almost too quiet.
Do you know, I actually hope he doesn't, just for his sake. Like, I think he just needs to move on. Yeah, that's it.
And Spurs too need to move on, right?
Yeah,
that's a build there.
Yeah.
And this guy is 29.
And they can buy several players for the, income they're going to get from selling him off.
Trouble is, all the Spurs fans out there, including Albert, who's probably watching right now, they'll just cite, we had Gareth Bale once too and sold him for 100 million.
Yeah.
And we wasted that money.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of concern about, can Daniel Levy be the right man to spend that money? Well, maybe you bring in the right sporting director now.
Yeah.
You can do that. But Spurs definitely one of the teams to watch.
Yeah, busy summer transfer window. And finally, sticking with some Dutch manager drama, Van Down, Manchester United legend Ruud van Nistelrooy stuns PSV Eindhoven by quitting with immediate effect. So Eindhoven won the Dutch Cup. They won the Johan Cruyff Shield. And then he just up and quit. Now, allegedly, there were several issues going on behind closed doors here, with players not respecting the manager and his tactics, as well as him not feeling that he had staff support. But this was such a strange headline I read this morning, waking up and just thinking, they were doing so well under him. And only recently was I just reading how well, young Dutch manager... Yeah. It's a bit of a shock.
He was rising up through the ranks there, right? And the age groups got given the job 18 months ago, right? Last year, they improved dramatically. Then this year, a really, really good season, played good, attractive brand of football. Like I said, young players emerging. And then he doesn't feel the support from above and from his staff, so he leaves. Man, I tell you, Van Nistelrooy, one of the great strikers to ever play in the Premier League, right? Wonderful, but always a bit high maintenance.
Yeah.
And always a bit of an ego in him. And you wonder how that translates to being a manager and answering to those above you. We see it all the time. Certain managers can be successful, but they always fall out. Conte being an example, Mourinho, these kind of characters, right? Is he going to follow that? Will a team take a chance on him now? Good young manager with a good pedigree who has a history of falling out with ownership? I don't know. We'll see. He's a big name, that's for sure.
I'm just wondering, with the ego aspect of it, can't he just say, listen, I've won you these 2 trophies. Are you joking? I'm just so shocked, because I think this is also going to bite PSV Eindhoven in the behind now, because clearly there are some issues there behind closed doors. But you had a manager, a Dutch manager as well, that was working for you. And now are people going to want to go there as well? Are they an enticing team? Because I wonder if managers are going to be well, why did he quit?
Well, what is PSV? Where are they in the world scheme of things, right? They're a respected club where often players will go to get that platform to go to one of the big teams, big leagues, right? They're like an Ajax, for example, and they've got great history. So I think they're still a destination with or without him, but when you talk about egos and managers, often owners have egos too, right? And that's when they start clashing. I hope we see him land. He'll land somewhere for sure.
For sure.
Has he proven enough, though, to get a bigger job in a bigger club? Is that what this is about right now?
Yeah.
Has he been approached by someone? I mean, he hasn't got much. 18 months is not a long time, right? Yeah, success in Holland, that's fantastic, right? But it doesn't translate all the time
It's
to
not one of the top
success
5.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting.
It will be. But I mean, this has been the season for managers coming and going. And with only 2 weeks left for the top 5 leagues, are we to see maybe another manager fall?
Room 442 is brought to you by North Star Bets. That's a win.